My name is Jessica Anderson, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Mount Olive Elementary School. And today I'm going to be doing the summer edition for KCS at home, and we're going to be doing week 4 shapes. So today our objective is we are going to be learning about and comparing 2D and 3D shapes. And this is so we can point to an object and describe the shape and tell how it is different from other shapes. And we'll know we've got it when we can name our basic 2D shapes, such as squares, triangles, circles, rectangles, and hexagons, and our basic 3D shapes, such as cylinders, spheres, cones, and cubes. Describe, and we're going to compare them to other shapes. All right, so let's go over some vocabulary that we're going to need to know for this lesson. And this vocabulary is just for 2D shapes only for now. This is, so let's first learn this word. This is flat. So another word for those two-dimensional shapes or 2D shapes is flat. Now let's learn this word. This is side, which is a line segment that is part of a shape. Here we have a corner, which is where two sides of a shape meet, just like in the square, the two sides, so this side and this side meet together in this corner. All right, let's learn some more 2D shape vocabulary. Right now we're going to learn the circle. A circle is a perfectly round, flat shape with no sides and no corners. This is a triangle. A triangle is a flat shape or 2D shape with 3 straight sides and 3 corners. So we can see the sides, 1, 2, 3, and we can also see the corners, 1, 2, 3. Okay. The next word or vocabulary word we need to know is a square. A square is a flat shape with 4 straight sides of equal length and 4 square corners. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and they are all the same length. And then it also has those 4 square corners. Okay. Now we're also going to learn the word rectangle. A rectangle is a flat shape with 4 straight sides and 4 square corners. Now, a lot of times with a rectangle, the lengths can be different. So the rectangle, in this rectangle, there are 2 long sides and then 2 shorter sides. And the 2 longer sides are the same length, and the 2 shorter sides are the same length. We also need to learn about a hexagon. A hexagon is a flat shape with 6 straight sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides and 6 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now we're going to move on to our 3D shape vocabulary. Another word for a 3D shape is a solid shape or a 3-dimensional shape. A lot of 3D shapes also have a face. A face is a flat surface of a solid shape. So like a top of a can. So here I have a can of soup, and so the top of the can where it is straight across, it is the face. So the rounded edges are not considered a face, just the top. All right, we're going to learn about a sphere. A sphere is a solid shape that looks like a ball. So here I have a ball. It is a solid shape. And then a cube. A cube is a solid shape like a box with 6 square surfaces or faces. So another word for a face is a surface, and all edges of equal length. So here I have a box or a cube, and it is like a box, and so all the faces on it are the same size, and there are 6 faces on my box, and all of the edges are equal length. And then we have a cylinder. A cylinder is a solid shape like a can. And we've already mentioned that a can, I've already showed you a can, and it has the rounded edges, or the rounded side, and then it has the two faces on the top and the bottom, or if you have it to the side, on these sides. We're also going to learn about a cone. A cone is a solid shape that slopes from a circular base to a point, like this traffic cone. So we're going to do a practice together. I'm going to teach you guys, and we're going to just kind of work through this together on going through our shapes. So at the top, we see some different shapes. We're going to name those shapes together, okay? So this is can you remember what that is? It's a triangle. It has 3 sides, so I know it's a triangle. And in the directions, it's showing us circling it with a purple crayon. And then here we have you know what it is? It's a square. It has 4 sides, and they are all the same length. So let's count those 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. And here we have our rectangle. Our rectangle has those 2 long sides that are the same length and the 2 short sides, and it has 4 sides as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's showing us to circle it in red. And then we have do you remember what this shape is? It's a circle. If you guys just circle, then you're right. A circle, remember, has no corners and it doesn't have any sides. And then here we have our last shape, our last 2D shape. And do you remember what that one's called? If you guessed a hexagon, you're right. It's a hexagon. It has 6 sides. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The directions are showing us to circle it in yellow. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do each shape one at a time, and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to go to this first shape, this triangle, and it's showing it in purple, remember? And so I'm going to go through all of these sections, and I'm going to find the triangles. Oh, looky there. I found all the triangles. So let's look at the top. We have a triangle on the first row, and I circled it because it has 3 sides and 3 corners. So I know that that is a triangle. In the second row, I found this triangle, and I know it's a triangle because it has 3 corners and 3 sides. Same with the last row. I circled that triangle because it has 3 sides and 3 corners. So let's go on to our next shape. Remember, our next shape is that square, and we're going to circle it with our green crayon. So here I have circled our squares. Now this shape on the top row, it looks like a diamond, but all of the sides are equal length. It's just a square. So if I draw a square on my piece of paper, so here I have my square, and I'm just turning it to my side. That's what we see in our picture. So I know that that is a square because it has 4 sides of equal length. And then in the second row, I have a square, and I know that is a square because it too has has 4 sides of equal length and 4 corners. Now let's go move on to our next shape, which is the rectangle, right? And we're going to circle those shapes with our red crayon. So I'm going to go through and I will circle those and then we'll talk about it. All right, so we have our rectangles. I circled the rectangle on the top row. I hope you found that rectangle too. The rectangle has 4 sides and 4 corners. And I circled that one because I know that the 2 longer sides are the same length and the 2 smaller sides are the same length. So I know that that is a rectangle. And on the bottom, it's kind of like how we manipulated our square, how we had our square and we turned the picture. It's just like that. We have our rectangle, which has those 2 long sides that are the same length and the 2 short sides that are the same length. And we just kind of turned it to the side. So I know that that is a rectangle because it has 4 sides and 4 corners. All right, we're going to do our next shape, which is our circle. Our circles we're going to find with our blue crayon. And I found a circle on the top row. I know that that is a circle because it doesn't have any sides or corners. So I knew to circle that one. And then I also have another circle on the bottom row. And I know that that too is a circle because it doesn't have any corners or sides. So now I'm going to go through and look for my hexagons. So remember, hexagons have 6 sides. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to find my hexagon. And I found it and I circled it with my yellow crayon. And I know that is a hexagon because it has 6 sides of equal length. And so let's go into the comparing of the shapes. So we can compare the number of sides and the length of the sides if we were going to compare 2D shapes. So I want you to answer this question. Which shapes have 4 sides? I'll let you think about that for a second. And this could be a tricky question because there's more than one answer to that question. If you said a square and a rectangle, you're right. A square and a rectangle both have 4 sides. Great job on comparing those shapes. Let's keep going. Now we're going to work on those 3D shapes and we're going to practice finding those 3D shapes. So let's go through on our paper at the top where I had them circled in the colors and we're going to name the shapes together. This 3D shape or solid shape, do you remember what that one's called from the beginning of the lesson? It's a cube. I hope you said cube. If you said cube, you've got it right. Now let's go to this one. Do you remember what that is called? That one's called a cone. And then we've got this one. It looks really similar to another shape we just worked with. It's a sphere. And then here we have our cylinder. My ball is running away from me, rolling away. So here we're going to go to the cubes, and we're going to circle all the cubes in purple. So remember, a cube has 6 sides, and some of them we might not be able to see in the picture. But remember, a cube kind of looks like a square. So we're going to kind of go off of that and go through and find the cubes in our picture. But remember, a cube is box-like, so we're going to be looking for those. All right, here I found all the cubes in the photo or in the page. So on the top row, I know that this is a cube because it looks like a box. So I'm going to grab my box and I have it to the side like this. This is what that box looks like. Okay, and I know that that's a cube because this cube has 6 faces and all the sides or all the edges are equal length. All right, and I also didn't name this shape because this is a flat shape. It looks just like the square I drew on my picture, so I know that that is a flat shape and not a solid shape. In the second row, I found another cube, and it looks like I just took my cube and I turned it on its side. And it also has those 6 faces and those edges that are all equal. Okay, and then at the bottom, I have another cube that I found, and it looks just like the one on the top row. So I know that that is a cube. All right, the next shape we're going to look for is the cone. Remember, the cone has a circular base, and it goes to a point. So we're going to find the cones, and we're going to circle those in red. So do you see any cones in the picture? All right, here I have some cones, and I circled them in red. Now remember, those cones have that circular base and they go up to that point, and I see that in that picture on the top row that I circled in red. It looks like the cone is just tilted on its side, but you can tell that it is circular at the base because it is rounded, okay? Then on the bottom row, I see that the first one that I'm looking at has that rounded edge, and it looks like the traffic cone is turned upside down. So it has that circular base at top and it's going down to that point. And then I also have another cone. And it's almost like I'm looking at the traffic cone if I'm standing over the traffic cone, because I can see the circular base down here and I can see how it comes up to the point. Okay. The next shape we're going to look at is the sphere. The sphere, remember, kind of looks like a ball. So I'm going to look for the shapes that are ball-like. So, and I'm going to circle them in green. All right, here I have the spheres, and I circled those in green. And I know that those are spheres because they do not have any they look very ball-like, and I don't see any edges with them. So I know that that is a sphere. Now, the last shape we're going to look for is the cylinder. And the cylinders, we are going to circle in our blue crayon. So I'm going to look for all of my cylinders. And remember, my cylinders look like a can, and they have the faces on the top and the bottom. Or if you turn it to the sides, you see those faces, okay? So let's find the cylinders. I found all the cylinders. Do you see the cylinders? I have this cylinder in the top row, and it looks like a long, skinny cylinder. And you can see the rounded edges or the rounded face at the top and at the bottom. And then in the second row, it looks like that cylinder is laying on its side. So I know that that is a cylinder. And then the last cylinder I found in that second row it looks like the cylinder was smushed, but it still has that rounded edge around it. And then it has the two faces on the top and the bottom. So it still has those two faces. Now, let's go into comparing our 3D shapes. So let's talk about how cylinders, cones, and spheres are alike. What do you think? Can you tell the adult near you? If you said that they all have rounded parts to them or something around like that, then I would say, yeah, you're right. And let's talk about another one. Let me ask one more question. How are the cylinder and cube alike? Can you tell the grown-up near you now? Do they both have faces? Yeah, they both have faces. So yeah, if you said that they both have faces, then you are right. Let's go on. Let's do a fun activity. So at your house, we're going to go on a shape hunt, okay? So you got to put on your explorer hat, and with your parent or guardian, go around your house. And I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil, and you're going to find some 2D shapes at your house and some 3D shapes. And I want you to draw the shapes that you find. Once you finish that activity, you can do this activity. You're going to need to find an object shaped like a cylinder at your house, a cube, a sphere, and you're also going to need a paper and pencil. So I'm going to do one of these as an example, okay? So here I have a cylinder that I found, and I already showed you guys that. I also found another cylinder at my house. I have a candle. And so what you're gonna do with your shape, with your 3D shape, is you're gonna lay it on your paper, just like this, and you're gonna draw a trace around it, and you're gonna see what shape the face looks like. So I'm gonna do this cylinder as the example, and you with your parent or guardian can do the other shapes, the sphere and the cube. So this isn't a perfect job, but here I took my candle and I did the bottom face, and look at the face, look at the shape, the flat shape that we made with the face. By tracing the face of the candle, we made a circle. Now we're gonna, with those 3D items, we're gonna do an experiment, okay? So you're gonna see which items can roll, and you're gonna see which ones can stack. So like with the cylinders, we can stack them. A lot of 3D shapes we can stack. But a lot of them we can, but do you think we could stack a ball or a sphere? No. So that one would be the kind that can roll. And then we're also going to find some, I want you to tell me which ones have corners, or tell the adult or the adult at your house which one has corners. And this is a tricky one. Which one has faces that are circles? I want you to tell the adult helping you and watching this video with you, which one has faces that are circles. And lastly, you'll find this in your packet as well. You're going to color the different shapes on your page. You're going to color a square, a rectangle, a circle, a triangle, and a hexagon. So we're going to go for a shape hunt in our picture. And then after you find those flat shapes, you're going to go through and you're going to find your 3D shapes. And you're going to color a sphere, a cube, a cone, a cylinder, and then you can color the rest of the picture. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys can go and have fun outside and find those shapes around your house or outside. And I hope you all have a great summer. Bye.